everyone, it's your girl Jen,
Reg,
your summer angels. We are glad to have you here today with us with another session of your one and only therapy, the Summer Angels podcast. And for today's session, we will have another episode of our Chicklit
and Chickang Literature.
And for today's gossip, we will have the Summer Solstice by Nick Joaquin.
Nick Joaquin's stories are actually inspiring. It not only covers the story of love and truth, but it also tackles about gender roles and traditional practices of Filipinos.
Oh, really? That is an interesting story.
Yeah, so Regine actually will give the summary of the Summer Solstice.
Okay, the Summer Solstice by Nick Joaquin. This story is set in what was set around the 1850s. It is during summer and with the festivities of Saint John. Um, the story starts off with Doña Lupeng. She woke up because of the noise in the dining room, I think, and then she went there. She met with her sons, and then she discovered that the children's nurse was the one who prepared the breakfast instead of Amada, who is their maid. So she went to the kitchen. She went to the kitchen. So she heard screaming. There's someone screaming. So she passed by the stable and she met Antoy, who is their carriage driver. And Antoy is the husband of Amada. So she asked him, where is Amada? And then there she Antoy asked her to go to Amada's room because I think then she went to Amada's room there.
You can speak vernacular if you want to.
Yeah. So she went to Amada's room. And then she discovered that Amada there was half naked. Yes, naked.
Oh my god, Amada.
So she's screaming.
So,
Yes.
oh my god.
She's with someone?
No.
So
She's alone.
she's alone, but
Naked.
she's half naked.
Yes.
And screaming. Do you imagine? She's the only one
Okay,
screaming
so what
out
happened
there.
next?
So what happened next? Antoy arrived in that room too. Then he said that Amada joined the Tantarin last night, which is Tantarin. I think
Yeah, we will discuss that later.
so. Amada led that celebration last night. Then Antoy believed that Amada has the spirit of that celebration. So next then the Doña Lupeng talked about this with her husband Don Paeng on their way to the I think plaza or something because they will celebrate the feast of Saint John.
Is it Plaza in there?
Or maybe I
No.
Continue.
Okay, so there they talk about what happened to Amada, and then Doña Lupeng asked if that's if this is still if they really believe that there is really a spirit during the celebration of Tantari. And afterwards, the feast of or the celebration of Saint John started. Then there was a horde of men, I think celebrating or dancing.
Are they naked?
I think they're naked. Yes, they're naked. And then there
Where
were
is this place?
I wanna go.
they were doused with water.
Joke everyone.
Okay,
They were wet. Okay, so the men were wet. They were worshipping. I think they were having yes. They were worshipping Saint John. So and then Doña Lupeng, she stood there. She watched this feast and she felt annoyed watching those men. They were naked. No, she just felt that they were too arrogant and they were too arrogant, like they were bragging about their yes, masculinity,
Their
their
muscular
their masculinity, yes, their arrogance, their bragging. So and then Don Paeng mentioned that his cousin Guido was there in the crowd joining the celebration of Saint John. So and that afternoon, this Guido, this cousin of Don Lupe, visited their house. And Guido watched or I think yes, watched Doña Lupe with enamored eyes. I don't know. This he was like he was enchanted or
So, thinks that Vanellope is beautiful.
yes.
Oh my god.
Donya looking married to Don Paeng, right?
Yes. I don't know what's wrong with you. Anyway, so they discussed about Kamada leading the Tantarin, and then this they had a long discussion about men adoring women, and then afterwards, the Doña Lupeng was startled or was frightened with this thoughts of Gito because Gito, I think he was liberated because he was from Europe. He studied there, and then so Doña Lupeng was frightened with his ideas, his thoughts. So he ran away from him and went to look for his cousins. But this Gito, he ran after Doña Lupeng and he kissed Doña Lupeng's shoes. He kissed the tips of her shoes.
Is Guido still young?
I think it's like young. That's
Like
what,
maybe around 30s?
maybe.
And Donya Luping is around
But it's actually
old, right?
because
She
she already
is
has sons.
grandsons, yes.
When she was
Yes, that's right. And then afterwards, Doña Lubeng discusses with her husband about Guido annoying her. And then what happened next was that Doña Lubeng wanted to watch the celebration of Tatarin. So and but Don Paeng doesn't want her to join that celebration. And then she still went there with her husband. And there in the tiny plaza in front of the Bargain Chapel, there were carriages, there were a lot of people, especially women, because Tatarin is a celebration for the fertility of women, I think.
yeah.
Yes, that's right. And then there, they, this is the, ever since Doña Lupeng was young, she never participated in this type of celebration, so she wanted to join that. And there, she really joined the celebration of that day. And Don Paeng was really angry. Yes, that's right. He was really angry because, and then so he ran after his wife to but the women there nakita nila ng lalaki si Don Paeng, so ila ka siyang ipahawa dito, ila siyang
Oh my god. So men are not allowed to watch that.
well,
Watch the Gathering.
yes, I think they are still allowed, but women are mainly the highlight of that celebration, so men should just, I think, watch. And then, yes, afterwards, the celebration after what happened, they went home. So, Doña Lupeng, she felt lighthearted. I think she was already
She was
happy.
happy and amazed.
Yes, about the Tantari. But Don Paeng was angry, so he remained silent throughout their supposedly discussion. And then Don Paeng or Rafael, he wanted to whip Doña Lupeng because of what she did.
Oh my god, that sounds so horrifying.
Yes. And then afterwards,
Really like hampas?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like you go
But like
whip
Don Paeng wanted to hurt.
or punish, yes, punish for what Doña Lupeng did. They had a long discussion, they had an argument, but afterwards, Don Paeng, I think, agreed with Doña Lupeng and said, I adore you, Lupeng. I adore you, Lupeng. He said that. And then, Doña Lupeng wanted him to, I think,
clarify?
or to make it more
more precise.
Oh yes, so she asked him to kiss her very
Oh, just like what Ido did.
yes, and I think that's the last part of the story where Don Paeng kissed Doña Lupe's naked foot. Yes, a naked Doña.
The
Doña.
characters of the story actually has different characteristics and traits. So I think it would be very lovely if you talk about the characters.
Yeah, I would love to talk about characters. So it's quite an interesting story, right, Jen?
Yeah, it's actually very, very good, and the characters has different traits. So it's
Yeah, I
like-
want to get to know the characters.
Yeah, I wanted to share about Doña Lupe. So, Doña Lupe is portrayed as a strong-willed and assertive woman who is married to Don Paeng, and she is submissive and passive.
Submissive.
Yeah, despite her position as a woman in a patriarchal society, Doña Lupe exhibits a sense of authority and a control over her household. Through Doña Lupe's character, Nick Joaquin explores the complexities of Filipino culture, the clash between tradition and modernity, and the tensions inherent in gender relationships. So, Doña Lupe's story in Summer Solstice serves as a powerful commentary on the constraints imposed by the norms and struggles of the individual liberation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Doña Lupe has quite interesting characters.
Yeah.
Strong will.
Yeah, it's actually quite alike to the other character named Amanda.
Oh, okay. So I want to talk about Amada. I want to share his character, her characteristics, as what Regine said in her summary. So Amada emerges as the epitome of traditional values and beliefs within the family dynamic, embodying the conservative ethos prevalent in Filipino society of the era. As a devout Catholic matriarch, she staunchly opposes the pagan rites associated with the summer solstice. Considering that blasphemous and contradictory to the Christian doctrine, my gosh, sorry for the um, accent. So to continue, throughout the narrative, Amada serves as the steadfast and moral compass, striving to safeguard the family's honor and reputation amidst the encroachment of modernity and the culture of ancient customs. Despite her steadfast adherence to tradition, Amada also reveals a streak of superstitions, fearing the potential corruptive influence of pagan rituals on her game. So she fears that there's a potential corruptive influence of the ritual. So particularly her daughter-in-law, Doña Lupe. Their clashes underscore the generational and cultural tensions at play within the household, highlighting the ongoing struggle to reconcile tradition with the evolving landscape of Filipino society. So, there's a little conflict between Amada and Doña Lupeng, right?
Yeah, because while Lupe is very liberal,
Strong-willed.
yeah,
strong.
Amanda is
Yeah, no, Amada is like the conservative one.
So-
She fears to have the like to corrupt Gani.
so they actually play a opposing role.
Yeah.
So I think we're down to her character and Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yes.
What can you say about him?
Well, and Toy emerges as a significant character within the narrative. He is the husband of Amada, and yes, he is the husband of Amada. Okay. He resides in the same household where much of the story unfolds. He is also Don Paeng's carriage driver, I believe, based on the narrative. And so, and Toy's portrayal contrasts sharply with other male characters, particularly Don Paeng, as he embodies a different form of masculinity. While Don Paeng is depicted as passive and submissive, and Toy exudes assertiveness and primal connection. He eagerly engages in the pagan rituals of the summer solstice, symbolizing a deep bond with nature and its innate rhythms. He enriches the exploration of gender roles and societal norms, showcasing an alternative expression of male identity beyond traditional expectations. Through Entoy's character, Joaquin delves into the intricacies of human nature, challenging stereotypes and revealing the complexity of gender and behavior. And I think that's all for Envoy.
Yeah, so
His character.
So ito is the husband
Yes.
of Amada.
Yes.
I thought he's the grandson.
So-
So my hearing is not hearing.
I think Don, as what you have said, Don Paeng and Intoy is two different characters with two different characteristics and traits.
Yes.
So I would love to share about Don Paeng because Don Paeng plays a pivotal role embodying traditional gender dynamics prevalent in Filipino society of this era. As the husband of Doña Lupeng, he holds a central position within the household, where much of the narrative unfolds. Don Paeng's character is portrayed as passive and yielding, particularly in contrast to his wife's assertiveness and authority. So he conforms to the archetype of the compliant husband, often yielding to the expectations set by his family and society. So Don Paeng's portrayal sheds light on the societal pressures and gender roles enforced during the period, illustrating the constraints imposed on masculinity and struggle against patriarchal. Oh my god, I have not tongue. Patriarchal dominance, right?
Oh, that explains why Adon Paeng kisses the foot of Doña Lupeng, right? You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
At the end of the story.
Yeah.
And I think there's this
Very
one man,
interesting,
very interesting that
character.
man who
Yes.
was naked
Half
on
naked. No, yeah, naked.
naked in the streets.
Yeah.
Who kissed
Doña Lupeng.
yeah, it's Guido, right?
I want to talk about Guido. So, in Nick Joaquin's Summer Solstice, Guido serves as a symbol of virility and masculinity.
Wow.
Very muscular, contrasting with the more submissive and passive portrayal of Don Paeng. He is a robust and confident man who participates eagerly in the pagan rituals associated with the summer solstice, particularly the fertility rites. So, Guido's character embodies a primal energy and a connection to nature's cycles, standing in stark contrast to the traditional gender roles of the time. His presence in the narrative highlights alternative expressions of masculinity and challenges societal norms regarding male behavior and dominance. Guido's participation in the rituals alongside Doña Lopeng suggests a deeper connection between the two, emphasizing themes of desire, power, and liberation within the story. So there's more connection between Doña Lopeng and Guido.
Yeah, because Don Paeng is very passive.
Yeah, submissive.
Guido was like, I want it all.
I want to lead.
Confident.
Yeah. The confidence is there.
If I were to choose between Guido and
Don Lopeng. I don't Paeng.
I would love to choose Guido.
Why? Why? Give at least one.
I love men who knows what they likes and men who knows how to prove themselves.
Whoa. Do you have someone like that?
The audition is not.
So that's it for characters of the story. I hope that you can also choose whose character favorite.
Yeah. So now that we're done with the characters, I think we should also discuss the
Beliefs, yeah. I'm very particular with the Tagtarin. I'm very close.
Yeah, Tagtarin is actually new to me. So can you share?
And based on my research and based on the story also, Tagtarin is a 3-day ritual in which the first night, young children or like young women are to participate. The next night, the second night is adult women. Then the third night is old women, old women or women, and also they will dance around a balete tree. That's what balete tree. That's what I've gathered so far of what is Itantari. It's a ritual.
So I actually heard that Tagtarin is celebrated with associated with same.
And the third day.
The third day.
Yeah, during the third day of the ritual, it is also it is also the same day where they will celebrate the St. John's Day.
So what's St. John's Day?
So far, based on the story, Summer Solstice, I have observed that this is a celebration of Saint John, a celebration for the fertility of men, where a horde of men dances or parades naked, I think, with only
Bahag, like the
I think
bahag.
that's right.
Only
Yes, that's based on the story.
You want to participate?
No, I wanted to I wanted to watch
Okay.
But based on my research in this 21st century, every 24th of June, Filipinos commemorate the birth of Saint John the Baptist. In various regions of the Philippines, we celebrate the feast differently based on research. So in Manila, people who pass by the town of San Juan may need to be extra careful because they will be doused with water. You will be wet if you will go there. Yes, and then in Batangas, specifically in Balayan, Batangas, there is a parade, a roasted pig parade. They do that on the streets. And in Nueva Ecija, they have Taong Putik Festival. The devotees or the Taong Putik pay their homage by covering themselves with mud and dried banana leaves, imitating how Saint John dressed using the native products. And celebrations may vary in different regions in the Philippines.
So how about in your hotel?
Yes,
Do you celebrate St. John's?
yes, we only do that by dousing ourselves with water or dousing other people with water, so we become wet because of those ones.
So now that we've discussed that English is for women,
Yeah.
and St. John's Feast for men, which is for men, I also wanted to tackle about the roles of women in society. So back in this era, or back in the years where Summer Solstice took inspiration from, women actually does not have that enough power to lead men. It's because then women are seen as has always been seen as a weak a weak person. So it's quite biased because I believe that the things that man can do, women can do it.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's so sad that we have to watch or we have to read Summer Solstice with stories that encompasses with body shaming against women, especially when it comes to Amanda and Guido, which Guido described Amanda as someone who is fat. And I believe that the figure of a woman should not be the borderline or the standard for respect and love. Because every woman has to gone through different phases in life, especially giving birth and aging. And it contributes to the women's shape and the genital appearance, which lessens their capability to be as much as attractive as we do. And I think it should be stopped because women are beautiful as they are.
Yeah, you're right.
It's actually the tradition of Filipino that when you're a woman, you're weak, and when you're a woman, you should meet the standards of everyone. And
Yeah.
That's very true.
And it's still happening in today's
Yes.
era.
I think we're down to giving our learnings and insights.
Yes, yes.
For me, we should also be like, we should give equality, that there should be equality between men and women. Because to have that, like, you mean like better environment, if men and women are equal, then there's no what do you call that? There's no there's no superiority. There's no like superior of you. Then there's no also like mo like that. So men and women should be equal.
How about you, Regine? What can you share about?
Well, for my learnings, based on the story, it shows superiority, right? There is superiority, and then there it conveys power to control submitting oneself and considering yourself as a slave. And for this, there are two feasts or celebrations there, Saint John and Tataling. So Saint John here symbolizes the superiority of men, and Tataling symbolizes the superiority of women. And with this, I believe that there should be freedom of the women to do what they want, and although there are still limitations because we still need to do things that are not illegal, but then again, we still need to pursue the thought that women should have the freedom, but also men can also have the freedom to, just like what Jenalyn said, that there should be equality between men and women.
Yeah, speaking about equality between men and women, I think I've talked enough. But before we end this session, I would love to highlight this story, this line from the poem that the learning that I gained mainly from this story, not the book, this story, is that moving into the story. Yes. Don Paeng actually stated there that this is not the word by word transcription, but the understanding that everyone can adore a woman, but not everyone can respect and love them, which is actually really true because a lot of men can actually get attracted with another woman. A lot of men can actually look up to you as if you're an angel, but not everyone can have the courage to love you and respect you as much as you deserve.
Yeah, I can relate. I can relate it to no, not I'm not the one to relate, right?
Yeah.
There's a quote like everyone can like you, but not everyone can pursue you.
Yeah, it's actually true and it's time tested. It's because
Why?
a lot of just like what Don Paeng said, I've been in an experience that I was liked but not pursued. It's because respect and adore, being respected and being adored is two different things.
Yeah.
Being respected involves love and affection, while being adored is just like the surface level. Someone just likes you because of how you look like, or just because it's very
Yeah, very.
But when we say respect, it runs through the soul. It's quite good.
It's like dulot sa bundok.
Yeah, it's actually a Cebuano line, right?
Yeah.
Dulot sa buo. Because when you love or when you respect a woman, it should come from your heart and not just by the appearance.
Yeah. Not just by the looks or the color of the skin.
Yes, it comes from you. So I think we've talked a lot about the summer solstice.
Yes.
So
It's a very interesting story. So I hope you also read this
yeah,
story.
it's 11 out of 10. So once again,
This is your girl Jen,
Jeff,
Reg.
your summer angels. See you next time.